What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Blerdkast Live. And tonight, we're running it back, a Dream Deferred Part 2, with some new guests and with some returning guests. But before we introduce our guests, I would like to have a moment of joy with my co-host this evening, Ms. Joy Stevens. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mark. I'm in the lovely Opryland Gaylord Resort for work, so it's not like I'm having fun, but it is a nice hotel. And I'm happy to be here with y'all again. Looking forward to our conversation tonight, and we're going to jump right into it because we're trying to be good with our schedule and everything. So I want to, but also want to give all of our guests enough time. Thank you all so much for being here, for agreeing to be on our podcast tonight, and for being your fabulous selves. So I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, say, who you are, what you're up to, whatever else you might like. But I'm going to start with, on my screen, in this far direction is Alan Z.
Want me to start?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, guys? My name is Alan Z. I'm an actor and musician. So the most recent things coming up for me is I have a hip-hop concert coming up at MomoCon on May 22nd at 9 p.m. That's with me, Substantial, Stolen Drums, Mega Ran, Zetsubani, and Aztec. I also have, I'm in a movie coming out same day, May 22nd, called I Love Boosters, directed by Boots Riley, with stars Keke Palmer, Demi Moore, Lakeith Stanfield, Taylor Page, Naomi Aki, Don Cheadle, Will Poulter, and a bunch of others, as well as me. And so, yeah, those are the two things that I'm looking forward to next month.
Awesome. That is awesome. I can't wait for the movie to come out. Afrococoapuffs, you're next.
Hi, as was mentioned, I am Afrococoapuffs. I am a cosplayer, content creator, and a music artist. I do dabble in nerdcore, so I'm mostly known for that. So as far as what's coming up for me, I am actually moving this week, so it's gonna be
Wow.
it's been insane for me over the past few days, and over the next week it's gonna continue being insane. But as far as projects is to go, I do have a Black Friday project that I'm cooking together with the community. I actually put out a basically casting call yesterday, and I was just overwhelmed with the response that came in. So
Nice.
yeah, it's a lot more than I thought I was gonna get. So that's gonna be on my plate for the next, leading up to Black Friday. So yeah, we're gonna be working on that. Um, Basically, I'm looking for other Fae cosplayers or fantasy cosplayers, and just basically giving back to the community like I like to do. Showing other people who may not have the same platform that I do, but be able to see other people in the community, and put it with one of my songs that I have for Black Friday that was already released previously. So as far as my next project, that's what I'm doing.
And for those who are listening who may not know what Black Friday is, could you explain to them what it is?
Oh, of course. It's basically as the name tells, Black Friday. So basically, is a celebration of our community that comes together, and we dress as fantasy creatures or fantasy characters, whether it be fairies, goblins, witches, or just anything that has to do with the mystical arts. Yeah, exactly. It's actually an event that was created by Jasmine. She has a YouTube page. I believe it's YouTube. But I know she has a Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and you can find her at Black Friday, official Black Friday, and you'll see everything that she does on her page. She's such a sweet person. We've actually worked with her before, so yeah, if you're interested in knowing what that's about, you either do hashtag Black Friday, and everything will pop up. Everybody that's a part of it will pop up. So yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, that's FAE.
Yes, FAE. I didn't even think to say that. Yeah, it's FAE. Yep. So yeah.
Looking forward to that. Okay, last but not least, Peter Raymundo.
So can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, there's a little static, but we can hear you.
Yeah, staticky. Well, so I'm not a performer. I'm an entertainment. I'm a writer and an illustrator and an animator. My main thing I do nowadays is I do a lot of conventions, mainly because I was a Walt Disney animator, and I do a lot of events. I meet a lot of fans, and I do a lot of like custom artwork. But I write and illustrate children's books, and so my one of my last graphic novel had to do with speed cubing, like there's a world like Rubik's cubes, and there's a whole world around competitive speed cubing. Anyway, so I have
Yeah.
a fictional story around. It's about 5 different competitors all converging on a national championship. But it's in about 2 months is the North American Championship, and so I'm doing like I'm going there and signing books, and I'm doing their mat, and so that's one of the things I have coming up. And I'm also just writing my next graphic novel.
Okay, awesome. What's your next novel going to be about?
I don't know how much I can say about it, but it kind of has. It's a fictional story. It kind of has to do with Bigfoot.
Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you all know, this episode is called A Dream Deferred Part 2, because we did it last time and it was so popular, we decided to run it back. But we really want to talk about how'd you get here? You know, because for a lot of us, what we're currently doing or what we find ourselves doing isn't what we thought we were going to be doing, you know, in elementary school when they say what you want to be when you grow up. Or maybe it is, or maybe it's something in between. So that's what we really want to talk about tonight is, have you had to defer any dreams? And if you did or didn't, how has that shaped and you know, created the space where you find yourself in right now? So we're going to start out with something basic. What was your original dream? Like when you were little, we'll call it 10, what did you want to be when you grew up? And how does that compare to what you're doing now? We'll start with Alan.
So I told this in the last panel, but like when I was a kid, like when we had to do like, what do you want to be when you grow up? In 4th grade, I wrote that I want to be like one of the biggest rappers in the world. And that got me ostracized and like bullied throughout school. But I think the more I got like alienated, the more I dug into my craft. Like I was super nerdy about rap and hip hop and just like studying lyricism and like the technical stuff and the history of it. And so that kind of led me on this journey of like being in the music industry and also realizing how traumatic it was for me. And so while I still do music, I think that was what led me to also become an actor, because that made me feel like I could express myself in multiple mediums and in a medium that I felt was more rewarding. And so I think while my dream isn't completely deferred, it's definitely modified. And I feel like now, as somebody who is both in the arts as like as an actor and as a hip hop artist / like singer, it makes me feel more like complete as far as like what I can do and how I introduce myself and how I present myself to people, as opposed to just being like a music guy. I'm also in filmmaking, and it allows me to, I think, to step into spaces and have more to say as opposed to just being on the audio side.
I think that's a great point. We have one more person coming in a second. They'll be back. In the meantime, Mark, we don't hear from you much, so talk to us about what you wanted to be and where you are.
That's so interesting you brought that up. When I was a kid, I initially wanted to be an inventor of all things, because I was one of those kids that would have like toys, but I would break those toys to make new toys. You can't hear me? Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. But yeah, I used to do that, and then that led to me just wanting to be creative.
That's Peter back there. Are you working on your mic, Peter?
No, I can't hear him.
Oh, you can't hear him.
Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna sound rude, but I'm gonna ask, like, if you leave and come back, that might reset your audio and stuff. So we'll see you in a second.
Okay.
To our producer, please keep an eye out for Peter when he comes back. Don't leave him in the lobby.
Perfect.
All right, but you were saying?
Yeah, so the inventor thing led to me wanting to be creative. I started taking art classes, started drawing, started learning the arts, if you will. I did advanced placement art classes in high school, Studio 3D design, Studio 2D design. Got college credit from that. That led me going to the Art Institute and learning animation and media arts because I wanted to be a sequential artist, someone who creates comic books. That led to me going to another school and doing video game art, or I thought it would be art, but it was all programming. And I got tired of that because if you ever try to program, it's terrible. It's a nightmare. It's like learning English and math at the same time, but in binary. So that zapped the creativity out of me. And then someone dropped the camera in my lap, and I've never looked back since. I turned photography into cosplay photography and was doing really inventive and creative things. So I'm kind of happy that I ended up where I'm at, but also I look back and think, but what if I had did this instead of doing that? And where would I have ended up? Like, I literally flipped the coin in art school. Should I do something culinary or do something in media and animation? And it landed on tails, and that's what I ended up doing. If it landed on heads and I went to culinary school, this might be a whole different show.
We might not even know you.
True. Well, now you'll know me because my food will be delicious and iconic in the city of Atlanta 20 years later. So you will know me.
Know you though, because I wouldn't have met you through nerdy stuff because you'd be off cooking somewhere. We'd just be like, "Yo, you been to Mark's restaurant?" Yeah. Peter, how's it going over there? Say something.
Yeah, the audio was really choppy. Like it's like super static.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Peter. That's pretty bad, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Keep working on it. Just we'll check on you in a second, but I'm going to go to Afrococoapuffs. And so tell me, what did you want to be when you grew up?
And then I'll turn my phone off and on. I guess it was great when it first started, but I'll try to enter. I'll come back in.
Do you have a different tablet or computer that you can log on through?
I do. I'll do that. I'll exit and I'll go from a whole different thing.
Okay.
All
right. Afrococo.
Okay, sorry about I was just like
I know, I was like
I was kind of holding my breath a little bit. I'm like, okay, any second it's gonna clear up. But okay, so what I want to be when I grow up. Okay, so believe it or not, I wanted to be an RN.
Okay.
And yeah, it was I have like so many nurses in my family. And so it kind of like, I wouldn't say it was forced on me, but I couldn't help but want to be a nurse too. And I'm kind of a like empath, so I love helping people. I love being there for people. And like the times that I did find myself in the emergency room, not for myself, but like if I just happened to be in the emergency room, and like I said, I had family members that worked in the hospital, I would see like all these people suffering in the ER, and like my heart would just rip in half for them, you know, because some people would be crying, some people would be screaming, and then just see like just the lines of people waiting to be helped. And this is me as a child, like seeing these people, and I just felt so bad. I'm like, I want to be part of the team that helps these people. So for a long time, that was my life's goal. To be a nurse. And so yeah, throughout like whenever I was asked that question growing up, it was always the same thing. I want to be a nurse. And then I did actually start, you know, in high school. My classes was like, you know, pushing towards being a nurse, and then I, you know, did college and stuff, but I went another path. So life was lifing, and I ended up doing something else. And then fast forward over the past few years, I found my calling in executive stuff. So now I'm doing more of that, keeping people in line. So yeah, so as far as that's what I ended up doing. But along the way, I've always been somewhat of a dramatic person. So like I'm really animated in real life. So anybody that knows me will tell you that yeah, I'm really out there when it comes to my personality, even though I am an introvert. I'm like one of the weird introverts. Like you have to know me, and then my personality will really come out. So yeah, So along the line, I discovered anime, and of course fell in love with anime. And then because of what I was going through at that time in my life, I realized that I love music. I love making music. First, it started out with writing poetry. Poetry was how I express myself, but it was just to myself, just me and my little diary at home. And I started out with poetry, and I started to put it to music. And of course I listened to other music artists and stuff, and I just got even more inspired. um, and then somewhere along the line, I started like actually making full-blown songs. There's Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Started making full-blown songs. And yeah, so it was more of a thing that I just kept to myself. I just make music, and it was just for me. Like, I didn't have any plans on making it, doing anything else with it. And then I found some like-minded people, and then we would collab, make songs together, and put it out, and blah blah blah. And then I discovered nerdcore. So I was like, okay, so now I can do music, but also now I can incorporate all the nerdy stuff that I've come to love. So yeah, even like, so just looking back how I thought my life was going to go and how it is now, it is like a complete turn. Though the empathy is still there, but I help people in other ways other than,
Other than nursing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Peter, mic check.
So you sound great now. So
Great.
anyways, hopefully I sound okay. I'm
do.
sorry I missed you guys.
Yes,
I'm sorry
you
about that.
sound
I don't know what happened there, but I'm on my computer here now.
No, this is great. We got like a full body shot too, so this is an upgrade
Yeah.
for us. So cool. So tell us, Peter, young Peter, what did you want to be when you were growing up versus where you are now?
Well, I kind of have done what I wanted to do. I mean, my goal was to be a Disney animator, and I was kind of right place, right time. So I did that. Like, basically, I had two real goals. I wanted to be like a Disney animator and work on movies, big movies, and then I wanted to be a writer and illustrator. And so I also have done that as well. Like, I have a number of books published around the world by like Penguin Random House, and I have a book series with Scholastic. And artistically, that's kind of, those are my main goals, I think. But the one thing that is it Alan? Alan, that you had said that was similar to, it was the scope though of it. I mean, I'm much more satisfied now with, like, and as I get older, with the process and loving the process of what I'm doing, like on a day-to-day type of basis that I do the stuff, as opposed to being famous or working on like anything beyond the actual art craft, And I think that's what changes. I think as you get a little bit more mature, but that's the only thing that's really different from what I really wanted to do was I wanted to be big. Like, I want to work on huge movies. And basically when I was younger, I wanted to be rich too. Right. And
yeah, there's
that's not as relevant now. Right. I mean, peace of mind is more relevant now. And being happy with and proud of what I'm doing is a little bit more relevant now.
I think you make a good point. And actually that takes me to something else I want to ask all of you. When you think about the different routes you've taken, whether you had a more direct route like you did, Peter, or around the way route. We will take a moment before we get into this next question to introduce our most recent addition to our panel here. Welcome, Kumu. Please introduce yourself.
Oh, I apologize, everyone. I got stuck in LA traffic. Thank you for having me return. My name is Michelle Manu. I serve as a Kumulua, a teacher of the Hawaiian ancient art, martial art, if you would, more categorized that way, because it doesn't really fall into anything these days. But I also do a lot in media too. I'm not creative every day, like probably most of you are. And I just try to impact the world where I'm at.
I love that. I would like to ask you one question, and then it'll catch you up to where we are now. What did you want to be? Oh, no, you're fine. Look, we've been messing around this whole time. You didn't miss nothing. But what did you want to be when you were little, like 10 years old? And how does that compare to what you're doing now?
Oh my gosh. Well, I wanted to be president of the United States.
You're the second person I've heard say that.
Yeah, I was yelling at a boy when I was 6 on the playground. So, I'm going to be the president of the United States. You can't talk to me like that, And I still pretty much have the same attitude now that I'm older and a grandmother myself. So, yeah, it's much different. I mean, I work in corporate America every day. I do. But then my real life, my private life outside of work is so public, and it's a balance. I actually have to try to keep those separate because modern America can't see all of us creatives as more than one thing, right? Like
Right.
I feel like it cancels out, especially for women. No offense, gentlemen. I can only speak to that because I'm a woman, but I feel like, if we work in corporate America during the day and then we have any other type of activities outside of that, and if they're public, it almost cancels out our ability to be competent in the
Right.
workplace. So it's been a really interesting thing. And then also feeling not good enough because I can't do my responsibility, what we call kuleana in the culture, like full time. But I'm grateful for my work during the day because it helps fund that. So I live in that duality, which I think most of us do. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel you on the credibility versus visibility thing. Like I'm a corporate culture consultant by day,
Yeah.
and I do a lot of. I'm in Tennessee right now doing workshops for a major corporation over the next 2 days, and they have no idea that I
Yes.
do nerd stuff. Every now
And
and
it's better
then,
that way. It is.
Yeah.
I try my very best to keep those two worlds from bleeding over. Just because if they see me doing nerd stuff, they may question my credibility, even though I've got the credentials. It's all kind of
Yes.
letters and degrees and whatnot.
Yeah.
But let them see me in a Queen Charlotte costume, and they're like, I don't know if I can take you seriously, and it's just not fair. Yeah.
I feel you. I know.
I do
Michelle,
want to ask. Go ahead, Mark.
no, I was going to ask, Michelle, you kind of bring up something very interesting. I wanted to ask everyone on the panel because I'm starting to have these issues myself. But you mentioned duality of the public and the private life, and I've had
Yeah.
conversations with Afrococoapuffs in the past. I think I've talked with Alan Z in the past about this before, and so many other people. How do you balance the private life and the public life, especially if you are someone like a singer-songwriter, in the case of Alan Z, or a famous cosplayer like Afrococoapuffs? How do you deal with people seeing you as the persona that they see you as, or putting you on the pedestal that they put you on, versus just a normal friendship or relationship with someone?
I think you as the public figure can dictate like how much access you give the public. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to know like who anyone else is in my life who doesn't choose to be in the public. You know what I mean? Like whoever I'm involved with, dating, or like friends with that don't want to be in the spotlight, I don't put that on them because that's not what they wanted, right? So I think like you just have to learn not to use your social media as your diary because not everyone is your friend, right? Like people are looking for stuff they can have on you, and so I think as I got more into like the quote unquote spotlight and whatever, I just got more and more I guess paranoid. so like if I have like a bad day or if I feel like venting, I don't go to social media for that because I can't afford to. You know what I mean? I feel like something 50 Cent said a long time ago always stuck with me. He was like, once you become a public figure, you're public property. Like you don't have the luxury of feeling sad for yourself in front of people because they're just like, oh, why are you feeling bad? Like like you're in a position that we're like we want to be in. So I think
you're a celebrity. You shouldn't have sad days. Yeah.
Right. So I think you make that conscious decision. I mean, some people do overshare, and that's fine. But for me, that's how I protect myself. It's like I don't, and I'm also in therapy now too. So I'm a lot more calmer than I used to be. Like so, I think having like people you can talk to, like if you are like going through something like like that, we can keep that side private as well as stuff about you private as well. Because I feel like the public doesn't deserve to know everything about you, right? Like there's so many parasocial relationships, but like you can determine how much access they have, and what you want to keep sacred to yourself.
Great points. One of the things that I wanted to ask everybody is around like this idea of like growth. We talked about, being little and what you wanted to do and what you do now. And most of it wasn't a straightforward road. And so what have you, if you think about some of the trials and tribulations, if you think about some of the things you've been through, to get to where you are now, what have you learned about yourself? Because I'm really big on like self-awareness and really understanding who you are. And I think that drives what you do or how you do it. And so what have you learned about yourself, over the last 10 years or what have you, or on your journey?
Can I talk?
Yes, go ahead.
A long time ago, I knew what I wanted to do when I was back. So I'm 52, but I knew what I wanted to do when I was about 16. And I wanted to work in movies. And when I was in college, it's very difficult to be hired as an animator. It's like they hire like 10 people a year out of like tens of thousands of people. But I listened to this is Arnold Schwarzenegger had this talk. This is way back before the internet. This is like 1991, 2, 3. Somehow I heard this talk he gave. And he was talking about not worrying about, he's big on having goals, but you shouldn't worry about necessarily the goal itself, but worry about becoming the type of person that can achieve that goal. And that's like, so I would say what kind of person wins? What kind of person gets hired there? What kind of person do other people want to be around? And I learned that a long time ago with just, that just made everything. Don't worry so much. I tell my son this too, is he like wants to do this or have this or that later on. Like that's not how you get there. You get there by becoming that person and becoming that's anyway, but that's kind of what I've learned a lot of. Like I talk about the process too, but love that process. Love the hustle, love the struggle. And I don't worry about I'm almost retired almost now of it, but like that's the only thing I think about. I don't worry about any other distractions that is going to bring me down and ruin my life in some weird way, because I work on kids content, right? I'm a Disney animator and I teach this at the drop of a dime. If something, not like I don't, but if some weird thing, like I was involved with like a fight or something, right? Headline would be Disney animators in a fist fight, right? So it would ruin my whole life because of what I've done, right? And so, anyway, like I just love the process. Be the best person you can possibly be, and just focus on that. I mean, that's what I've done.
Okay. Anybody else want to go ahead? Was that Cocoa Puffs?
Well, me?
Yeah, I thought I heard you saying something.
Oh, I didn't, but I can.
Well, so for the rest of y'all, what was it like?
I don't know how I'm supposed to follow behind Peter, but
there you go.
There she is.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm back.
I think there's a
okay.
little
Yeah, it's being weird.
Yeah.
Just keep talking. We'll figure it out. You go. We're gonna wait for you.
Okay.
You're back.
So I'm back.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with this thing today, but so things that I've learned about myself, especially to where I am right now, I've learned that I prefer my peace. Anything that's going to disrupt my peace, it will not have access to me. And anything that's going to disrupt me from my goals, anything that's going to disrupt me from my dreams or discourage me from that, is also disrupting my peace. And I don't do that. I don't do that. Whether it's a person or whether it's a situation that's deterring me, I prefer my peace over anything. There's a lot of people that I keep at arm's length because I know that if I bring them too close, it's going to disrupt my peace and it's going to cause unnecessary problems for myself. And I like most of us, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but like most of us, I suffer from clinical depression and anxiety. So I already have a daily struggle as it is. I don't need you to make that any worse than it, but it already is. Like, that's the whole reason why I do what I do. That's why I cosplay. That's why I make music. It's therapy for myself. And like anybody that's gonna get in the way of that goal and put whispers in my ear saying this, that, and the other, or try to bring me in their own drama, I just keep it at a distance because, you know, I'm at an age now. Before it was entertaining, but I'm at an age now to where it's like, you know, yeah, like we don't need that. We don't need that. I'd rather sleep peacefully at night, and that's why like you won't hear about me in anybody drama, or you hear like Afrococoapuffs. You know, I like her because she did this and other. No, I stay to myself, and I just try my best to get back to the community as much as I can, and at the same time enjoy myself on the ride. So that's basically, you know, and because I've had that attitude, it's opened so many opportunities for me in this community. Just me being myself and not, you know, trying to be problematic. So that's definitely the number one thing that I've learned about myself, and I'm going to continue being that way because it's worked out so far. So yeah, that's it.
Does anybody else want to tackle that? Like, what have you learned about yourself?
Do you want to go first? I thought you were going to say something else.
No, you got it, Alan.
Michelle, did you? I saw you.
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead, Alan.
No,
yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
sweet.
Okay. No, I was gonna piggyback off of what Afrococoapuffs said about like mental health, because as I mentioned, I'm in therapy and for depression and anxiety, and something I learned as well is like similar to what Peter has said about like focusing on the art and the craft versus the vanity stuff is like, I think sometimes when we are in a pursuit of like you know, like visibility and fame and stuff like that, what we're really trying to do is get that external validation and approval from like people that we really seek approval from, right? And I think like, but that also comes at the cost of our mental health. And that's something I learned about myself, is like I really wanted like certain people to validate me, especially because I grew up being bullied and ostracized and things of that nature. And then like as I started breaking it down, I think I'm trying to get to a place where my peace of mind matters more than revenge or you know, like wanting you to respect me or whatever. It's like, because my best friend had posed this question, because I told him like, yo, once I blow up, once I get this, things are gonna be different. And he's like, all right, but what happens if the people that you're trying to piss off don't care? And they're like, yeah, you're famous now, you're rich now, but what if they just don't care? What are you gonna do then? And that question stuck with me, because it's like, am I gonna get angry because I don't get a reaction out of them, or do I live my life happy and not think about that, right? So I think for me, that's what I'm working towards. I'm still a work in progress, but I feel like I'm trying to immerse myself in what I love, and also my energy into people I love, as opposed to the ones that don't matter.
Absolutely. I love that.
I love that. Yeah.
Okay, Michelle.
Yeah, you know, there's so much to say on this topic. I think that it's just resilience. Even though adversity comes and we have those external parties, I go into a little bit of anxiety when there's a lot of visibility, and there's been a lot of visibility lately. You know, there's this thing where your image, your name, your likeness is your voice, is out there broadcasted, and it brings a lot of attention, and it's not always supportive. But with, you know, visibility becomes like credibility, right? When you're in a cultural art, they'll say if you have visibility, you're not authentic. And that's not true. So it's a little bit different than just being in the wonderful art world, which is also very cutthroat. So I think I've learned about myself that I absolutely cannot pay attention to what these naysayers say. And those people of influence that we really do want to please, they have influence because we love them, because we want them to support what we're doing. And frankly, I had a conversation last week where it's not going to happen publicly with one of my mentors. And this is the private stuff, again, that we don't talk about publicly because it's hurtful. And there's already been enough. Like, I've been in the public for 16 years, and it's more not smooth than smooth. And that's what happens when you're, you know, kind of bringing up an archetype of a woman and a warrior that hasn't been discussed in over 200 years. And also is vehemently opposed that we're now mythical, which I know you all run into, like, oh, these women didn't really exist. It's, you know, it's a
Right.
figment of, you know, they carried spears and they made food. And I'm like, no, they
Harriet
didn't,
Tubman
you
didn't
know?
even
So,
have a railroad. Yeah.
you know, we're fighting that too. It's not just what we do. There's these systems in place that keep us in the negative and the deficit, right? Like, you know, Alan said, or Afro said, you know, I already start like my day. I already have to deal with enough. I don't need anyone adding to that. I guess what I've learned too is that as much as I would like to say something, defend myself, correct the record, I've learned that silence is extremely powerful. And so I rely on that now mostly.
Mm.
Thank you.
That is so fascinating. There's a lot of things I want to touch on this, especially going down the mental health path. I do want to just ask everyone, because you're all public figures in your own right, when you are not having a good day, when you're not wanting to be visible, what is it that you do to withdraw to make sure that you are composed, even if you have to still be in public and you don't feel like having to put on, not saying anyone's favorite thing, but to put on that public front, if that makes sense?
I don't know if I'll just, mine will maybe be brief. I'm not probably as much of a public person as the rest of you. Like, again, I'm what I do is, like, and I go to conventions. I go to quite a few of them, and I have thousands of, like you guys, I got a lot of fans, but it's not like my musician, so like that, right? So my artwork is more famous than me, right? And so I don't have to, but when I meet many fans like you guys do, and my goal, I always remind myself, even before we're setting up and that, you know, and they're coming up to you, is I want them to come away better off. And I basically want to inspire people, right? So I want them to come off better off having met me and be like, I just want to see their excitement. And it's irrelevant. I'm almost like I'm playing a part of Peter Raymundo. Like it's irrelevant what's going on in my life. The car's not working, whatever. You know, I was at this MegaCon, right? For some reason, a car having this car issue. No one cares, right? They drove 2 hours. They're waiting in a line for 2 hours to see you. They don't want to hear about your car, right? Sure. They want to know, like, oh, so I animated Lilo in the movie Lilo and Stitch. Like, so people want to be like, they just want to hear about Lilo or about whatever, like you draw this thing or whatever, you know, and that's your chance. I worked my whole life to get in that position where you can try to better the world with what you've done. And it's one person at a time, at least for me often, when I'm meeting fans and stuff. And when they come up, man, I greet them like they're my best friend, like, you know, and I thank them. I ask them their name, and I know it's almost like an act in a way, but I'm just like, it's sincere, but it's an act. Like, whatever hardships I have in my life, irrelevant. They didn't come for that. They came to be they want to go away. I want them to be better off and energized, and that's a conscious goal. I try to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Go ahead.
I totally agree with Peter on that, because I feel like whatever BS we may be going through in our own lives has nothing to do with the people that came to see us, especially if they flew or drove to see us, right? Because they deserve to feel like, wow, that was like the best moment of my life, right? Because on the other end, right, you could have a bad day and then take it out on them, and now you're suddenly the villain in their lives for that day, right? And that happens, like, you know, like, I'm sure you guys have met a public figure that you loved, and that maybe they were mean to you because they had a bad day, right? It could happen to any of us. So I think we got to, like, take responsibility and make sure that, like, when we talk to, like, people that are coming up to us, whether they're spending money or their time with you, it's like, they don't have to like you, right? And so I try to make sure, like, every interaction I have with a fan or just anyone interested in what I do, for it to feel like genuine and positive. Because I feel like they legitimately do not. There's so much entertainment in the world, and if they chose you, you have a responsibility to make them feel good. Because they're like, man, I can go over here. Like, if this guy's mean to me, right? And I remember something very distinctly was I did a panel in North Carolina, and this guy was shaking, and I was talking to him, and he was just like, I just want to say thank you for actually being kind to me. And he went on this rant about, like, how other, like, especially other rappers, that he's met have been so mean to him, and like, you know, because you want to act cool and stuff. He was like, just thank you for being kind, and it stuck with me. I'm like, man, that sucks that like you didn't even have to say that, or you feel nervous talking to me. You know what I mean? Because we're just all human. Like, and that's why I feel like if you got to put on a front and act cooler than you really are in front of fans, like you're probably not that cool. You know what I mean? Like you should just be kind to people. You know, no matter how famous or whatever, rich, whatever you are. You know.
Cool people don't have to tell you they're cool. They're just cool, right?
True.
And you know, what you're telling me reminds me, I just read this maybe a few hours ago. There was a guy on Threads, and he was talking about meeting Matthew Lillard at Comic-Con or one of the conventions. And he said he had been going through a lot of stuff. You know, he had some substance abuse issues, etc. But he was looking forward to seeing Matthew Lillard. And he said when he got to meet him, you know, for the fan sign or whatever, he ended up kind of telling him what was going on. He said he stopped, he came from around the table, he gave him like a real hug, like a big bear hug, and he's like, I believe you, you're gonna be fine, you can do this, you got this. You know, just a moment of real humanity and not just the wave and sign from a huge star, right? And what I love is that he put this on Threads, and he's like, I just want to say I'm 180 days sober today. And Matthew Lillard, if you're out there, I want to thank you. And Matthew freaking Lillard commented back, and he was like, man, I'm so happy to hear this. I'm really proud of you. I'm glad I was able to be there for you in that moment. Just, you know, that real human connection. And I was saying, you know, when you get older, you get a little hormone. I was like, oh, it was great. But to your point, we don't know what kind of day Matthew was having, right? But in that moment, he could have dismissed that guy and potentially, you know, led to something different. But he became, or he, in that moment, he was what that guy needed. And all because he recognized these folks paid good money to stand in line to see me. Let me put my, you know, my car issues and my fight with my wife and whatever else aside for now, you know, and deal with later. I did want to, there was a question from the Supreme Attorney in the chat. I want to see if I can go back and find it. She was talking to Peter. She's like, when you try to separate that out and say, you know, compartmentalize, does it take a toll on you to like stuff those negative feelings down until after the con? And that's a question for anybody, but she was directly into Peter. So Peter, you can start.
Well, it kind of does, but you know, like, first of all, I think everyone, I get the feel from everyone here that everyone has a mindset of bettering the world in their own little way. Not to be too grandiose, but like, I think if that's your goal, and you know, I could answer the question though. It's like kind of, but kind of not. I mean, I think you're just on the whole time, and just like as they can, that thing with Matthew Lillard, who's a great guy. They can, if you have a bad interaction, they'll remember that for the rest of their life. Because I've had one or two people where I waited and spent my last dime when I was like younger, and oh man, I don't forget it, you know. And there's that, but it doesn't kind of, because I just feel like also I feel like this is what I wanted, you know. I mean, I worked so hard to get to that point, and you're like, we're all artists. You were talking earlier about like the validation of. You, especially maybe more so than other people, I'm not sure, but artists really like to have a validation. If I tell people, "Oh, what do you do?" "Oh, I'm an artist," you know, I don't even like to say what it is because I don't know if it sounds like I'm bragging, whatever. I worked on movies, you know, and stuff like that, and you know, so I don't. But because I've already had so much validation, maybe that's part of it, that I don't require any praise at all. What I want to do is praise other people and have that inspiration be infectious, right? I mean, if you see that inspiration from the fan, I'm like picturing it now, you know, where they come up to you, they're nervous. Often people will cry when they wait in line and they love this movie, and it's like, that's your chance, you know, when you see them and they want to hug you, and I mean, it's so exhilarating. When my wife, when we're coming home from a show, we always found what was the favorite part. We asked, what was your favorite part? And it's always the fans, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, there was this one guy that this or this or this, you know, it just the sincerity, and like, you know, he told me this story and how this and that moved them. And so in a way, no, it really doesn't, just because I feel like I'm also invigorated. I guess I said I'm putting on like this show, but you're also getting the energy from this a successful show to me is like when you're connecting with people, you know. Yeah. I'm sorry, that was probably long-winded.
No, that was perfect though. That was perfect.
I'll add on to that too. I do feel like I'm glad that we're all us as artists and us in the light, so to speak, that we're on the same page as far as feeling like you have sort of a responsibility to the public. And going back to what I was saying about, I also have a bit of social anxiety. So a lot of times my social battery runs out while I'm on a job. So like despite the fact that like I'm here, I'm being paid to be here. And I, whether it's performing or whether I'm a cosplay guest at a con or something, I'm being paid to be here. So it does not matter whether or not my social battery runs out. I have to run on fumes and keep my energy on 100 for these people that are coming to see me. And it pretty much, I feel sorry for the people that is like in my personal life because once I'm done and I flip that switch, like sometimes I'll have a mental breakdown and then like just get a good cry out and then I'm good. Like I just need this cry, or I just need to get this panic attack out of the way and then I'm good to go again. So but it's just overwhelming feeling of like you have this responsibility to the public because you don't want to be that person that they remember for the rest of their lives as
Right.
You
And then never go to a concert again. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just because you're having a bad day, or just because you just got some bad news and now your mind isn't here, but you have to suck it up, so to speak, while you're on that job, because these people are here to see you. They have this image of you in their mind, on this pedestal, so to speak, and they look up to you and they respect you. So for you to tarnish that image, it could, people will remember a negative experience faster than a positive experience, unfortunately. So yeah, like so for those of us who deal with depression and anxiety and stuff, it's even harder because you have to have this persona for a certain amount of time and keep your energy as high as you can for a certain amount of time, whether you feel like it or not. And I mean, of course, it's all part of the love for what you do, and also like being empathetic towards the public, because I know if I was meeting my favorite cosplayer, if I was meeting my favorite, if I was going to somebody's concert and I had the opportunity to meet them, I'm not expecting to see them in a certain way. Like I expected them to be happy to see me as well. I expect them to be, a super nice person. So whenever like I'm out on a job, like I make sure that I give hugs, I give handshakes. If somebody comes up say, hey, can I take a picture, just a selfie, or I'm like, sure, come on in, every single time, because you want to make sure that like that person is leaving your table positive, they have a good mood, they're not, because it's at the end of the day, it can end up tarnishing your image down the road if enough people say that about you. As hard as it is, but that's just the responsibility that we have. So yeah,
I'm so happy you said that. The social battery thing, that hit so hard with me because even at BlerdCon, this past BlerdCon, I was in the middle of a photo shoot and it went from like 15% to zero. I was like, okay, I still got 30 more minutes of this photo shoot. How am I going to make it? I need a miracle, but luckily it was the Power Rangers shoot. So that was like, okay, this is my favorite thing in the world. And there's a ton of amazing cosplayers here, some famous cosplayers here. So I gotta act like I want this, and it still turned out to be a perfect shoot, really good shoot. But I do have a question for everyone. Since we talked about what have we learned within ourselves, I would like to ask everyone, what is the one achievement that you have accomplished that you are hands down proud of? No matter what else you do or how far you come, you've accomplished this one thing and it makes you keep going. because you have done it?
I'll start while y'all are thinking, because I know exactly what mine is. I own my own business, and I as of May, that will be 8 years in my own business. Which means like no corporate America, managed to pay my mortgage and all my bills, doing what I love to do. And it's been great. And it keeps me going because I'm like, one more year. I can do it again and run it back. And it reminds me that I can live on my own terms. You know what I mean? I don't have to do what people expect, or I have to do, well, this is the common way, or the most, the path most taken, or whatever. I'm off in the woods doing my own thing. I created a title that didn't exist, and started a company with a friend of mine. And then she ran back to corporate like after 6 months. And I was like, all right, girl, I see. I'm gonna be out here eating beans and rice until I get big. But then it worked. And so, why did I take this earring off? And so, for me, and I'm filibustering while I give y'all a chance to talk, so I hope somebody's coming up behind me, but that's the thing that I'm most proud of, is that I continue to be an entrepreneur.
Okay. I actually madly respect that. As someone who's stuck at a 9-to-5 myself, and trying to get back out on my own and stand on my own 2 feet, I commend you for that.
Right, Supreme Attorney, down with corporate unless there's good money in it. So... But
anybody else?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, mine is almost would be cliche, but so the biggest thing I've ever accomplished, and everything is a domino effect from it, was getting hired at Disney. Mm-hmm. So I was, I saw the making. I'm going to be very brief about it, but I saw in 1989. I was a junior in high school, and I saw the making of The Little Mermaid. And that just became my goal, basically. And very long story short, I'm from Ohio, and I went to art college where Disney had recruited from. But these movies became these huge blockbusters, and they hired. I mean, they got about 65,000 portfolios a year, and they only hired 10 people a year. It was the same time every year, and it was so. It's hard to imagine. In college alone, I did about 40,000 sketches, like to get to where I needed to be. So I didn't graduate. Disney recruited me in my 3rd year, and then so I left to go to. It's like going to the MBA for art, kind of. But that's but like everything, I can't even begin to say how many people just gave up, and that was their goal coming in to the college. That was the big thing for that college. And then by 2-3 times, I think it told no. They're not. They'd say it's impossible. I have people who that was their primary goal. By the time I was about to get hired, I remember telling me it's like a 1 in a million. It's a 1 in a million shot. Like and it's like that. I'm the one. Like that's the only way I ever saw it. And like I always kept telling them, like for me, that's the only goal. I mean but everything in my life, everything has fallen because of that. Like. I met my wife, everything I've ever gotten, everything I've ever done, even doing the books and everything, is all because I had accomplished that one thing that most people thought was impossible.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I'm sorry. Am I interrupted? Alan, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So I guess for me, I can break it down into like music and acting. And so on the music side, like, there's like a few things I'm proud of. One is like I got to work on the soundtrack and be on the I guess like the episode for the show called Warrior. It was a HBO show from Bruce Lee's like manuscript that his daughter Shannon produced, and like I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan. Like he's one of my like heroes, and so to be a part of his legacy in some capacity to me like matters a lot. And also like on the MC side, like having the respect of like a lot of my heroes as far as like rappers like growing up, like and being able to work with them like matters a lot to me, and then I've been able to like know I have like them, I can call them and I work with them. I've done shows with them, I've done songs with them. Like that to me, it's like a good reminder that like this wasn't for nothing, right? Mm-hmm. And on the actor side is obviously like the most recent thing that I've been known for, which is like being you know, in the movie I Love Boosters with like Kiki Palmer and like the people I've named. And it's like, honestly, like that to me, like it's like I feel like it's just a beginning. And I'm not trying to sound vain. It's just I know it's just a beginning because it's like the first Hollywood thing I've done, right? And it's like it's a reminder like of how far I've come because I literally like I came in the industry with no connections. Like everyone told me it was impossible. Like I didn't come from a background. I'm not a Nepo baby. I never came from like a background of like any connections. And for me,
like a Coppola or a Cage or anything like that.
I wish I had it. You know, there was no one that could be like, let me make a call for you to audition. I had to literally, and even just from the music side, nobody could vouch for me. I had to build like my entire like network by hand. And so like going from that to now having something that's going to be in theaters nationwide and Canada and Australia and also worldwide later on this year. It's like, that's for me, it's like, okay, like I need to remind myself, like I'm doing something special and I have more to do, you know?
I'm just going to chime in and say that I'm extremely proud of Peter and everything that he's accomplished up to now. I'm a huge Disney nerd. Like everybody will tell you, I'm a huge Disney nerd. Like I'm looking at my Disney like plushes right now, and too bad I took down all my posters because I'm moving. But huge, like I get on people's nerves about Disney. So thank you for adding to my addiction. And also, Alan, you are everything that I aspire to be. I'm still working at it, but seriously, you are where I want to be right now. So I'm extremely proud of you as well and everything that you accomplished working from the ground up. Like seriously, I'm just gonna start with that right now. I had to get it out because if I didn't say it, it was gonna bother me.
No, that's your thing. No, have a fangirl moment. Do it.
Right?
I know. I just had to. I'm sorry because it was bothering me. I had to say it. So as far as like things that I'm proud of myself that I've accomplished, is making a name for myself in the cosplay community. Like I didn't realize how much of a problem it was. Well, just a little background for those of you who don't know me. I'm known for a nerdcore song that I put out called "She Gonna Be Black Today." Long story short, I was on TikTok, just doing a little stupid TikTok video in my cosplay. I was cosplaying Hinata from Naruto, and then somebody in the comment section said Hinata isn't black, and so I made a song to basically clap back at the person saying "She Gonna Be Black Today." And then it went like super viral, and I didn't realize how much of a problem it was in the cosplay community, like people being bullied just because they're not canon to the characters that they're cosplaying. And it just kept going. Like even to this day, the video is still going. People are still reciting the song, and like I said, that's what I'm best known for. And of course, it never stopped. I
heard that song 2 days ago.
Yeah, like people still using it in their videos and stuff. And like whenever somebody says something like that in their comment section, everybody in the comments like, "She gonna be black today. He gonna be black today." It's hilarious. But yeah, like I said, I'm still getting DMs from children, mothers, sisters, brothers, like people saying thank you so much for putting the song out because it encouraged me. But like it encouraged me to continue cosplaying. I was at my brink, I was gonna stop, but then you put this out, and then now I have the courage to keep cosplaying and not pay attention to what the trolls are saying to me. And also like the spin that you put on your cosplay, whether if it's like a certain character but they have a white afro instead of white straight hair, I characterize it to me so it'll look me, because of course I don't have like bone straight hair, I have afro texture hair. So when I cosplay certain characters, a lot of times it's going to have the afro texture. And just adding our own little urban twist to it. That's what I love doing, and that's what a lot of us Black cosplayers love doing in the community. But of course, we get a lot of heat for it. So the song "She Gonna Be Black Today" is basically an anthem to push yourself to keep doing what you love doing, despite what the negative people are saying, because it's so much easier to remember what a negative comment says than a positive comment says. I don't know why our brains are wired that way, but we tend to hook on the negative than the positive. So just to remind people that you have a whole community behind you that's backing you. I don't know nothing about you. I don't know where you're from. I don't, but all I know is you cannot stop doing what you love just because you have people that you don't know telling you that your cosplay doesn't look right or you don't sound right, this, that, and the other. Just never stop doing what you love. And yeah, that's basically my whole thing. Like just pushing people in the community to keep going. Not just Black cosplayers, but just other cosplayers, you know, whether you're cosplaying something that may not be canon to the character. Or you may be a plus size cosplayer, and then you're getting heat because you're getting heat because the character that you're cosplaying is bones, skin and bones,
right?
But all of a sudden you don't look right. Yeah, like so that's where like really my root in nerdcore started. I started making a lot of songs for cosplayers for different issues. I make, you know, mental health songs. I make, you know, just regular I'm getting ready for a con type song, you know, just different kinds of things, and also regular music as well, but I love doing nerdcore as well. But yeah, that's what I became most known for, and that's what I'm super proud of myself. At least I know that the day that I finally leave this earth, I made some sort of impact on somebody's life somewhere down the line, and like I'm completely okay with that if I don't accomplish anything else in my life. Yeah,
I'm gonna do you one better. Your song Nazmi Black today, as a cosplay photographer, the very thing you are singing about, the very issue of Black cosplayers being harassed by other cosplayers or other nerds, I see that for myself literally every time I go out to a con, because what I do with photography and things like that. When that song dropped, it went so hard and so viral, and so many different cosplay communities have adopted that song to be their motivation song. Like I cannot tell you, Black Geeks of Dragon Con, Blurs of MomoCon, this past anime week in Atlanta. I don't know if you saw the vlog I did, but I put your other song, Bang It on the Counter, in there because people were there just singing it. They were just there singing it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely going in the video. So like, yeah, you have motivated a whole generation of Black cosplayers specifically. Not only that, but like me, because that came out right around the time where I was like, no one cares if I interview Black cosplayers. I see all the hate and flag that I'm getting just highlighting Black people who do nerdy things. And then that song dropped, and I was like, you know what? If that's not the let your haters be your motivators example I've ever seen right there, because I saw the story as it was happening live. You were being picked on for doing that, and then like you just came out with the song, and I was like, oh, that is the best clap back to that I have seen ever. Ate with that one, still eating with that one.
Like, this is gonna sound like I'm gassing you up, but I'm 100% serious. So once upon a time, James Brown put out a song called "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud," and it was evocative. It was a more than anything else that was going on during like the civil rights and Black Power movement, if you will. That was the one that brought everybody together for that community, you know, and it became a rallying cry. Everybody's, you know, singing. We still sing it now, you know, and I think for the Black cosplay community, I would say that your song is as important. I know it sounds like a lot. I know you might be like, Joy, you tripping, but I'm serious. Like, all of a sudden, everybody had a ready-made defense and offense with that song. Before you even say anything, I'm gonna tell you they're about to be Black today. And if somebody says something, I don't have to try to come up with my own rebuttal. I'm gonna put this song out and do another cosplay with it. And so, yeah, I want you to understand how important that song is to a whole lot of people. Like Supreme Attorney said it earlier, like you probably saved somebody's life. You have no idea that you did.
Yes, more than just one person. More than just one person. Matter of fact, if you and Six at MomoCon this year, cough, if y'all come to the Black Geeks and Mobilecon shoot. Love to have y'all just pop out and feature your amazingness. Cough, cough, hint, hint, wink, wink. But yes, but like you have like Afro, like again, I don't want to gas you up, but like you are that girl.
Actually, yeah, I do want to gas you up. You are that
Yeah.
chick. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just doing what I love, and like I said, I'm an empath for people, and like I said, I didn't realize that it was even a problem in the cosplay community until I put that. But that, like, when I put that song out, I didn't put that out with purpose. Like, I put it out because I was just being me. Music is how I express myself. Like, that's just like when I'm having a bad day, and like I need to relax. I write and I make beats, like just writing and producing. That's my therapy when I don't have, like, when I'm having a bad day. So that's just what I did. Somebody said something to me, so I'm just gonna make a song about it. Like you said earlier, banging on the counter. I was cooking in the kitchen, and my seasonings would clump together, and I banged it on the counter. So I
So
was
when I
like,
first heard that, I was like, "Stop telling black people
I'm
secrets."
serious. Like it was. So I was like, I'm about to make a song about this. Okay, banging on the counter, and just put a beat to it, put like whatever words popped in my head. That's how my brain operates, and that's how I relieve my stress. So yeah, like I didn't really put out for purpose, but now that it has a purpose, I'm so grateful. Like, I'm so grateful that I was able to touch so many people's lives, and it's still being influential in the cosplay community, because that's really all I want, just to encourage people to, if only I could cook. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the comment. I'm laughing at the comment, but yeah, that's it. That's just me being me.
Michelle?
Yeah, hi. Well, first, I want to say that I want to applaud all of our humility, because I've seen too many people that are in the public that have gone through a lot, have found their way, and they're braggarts, and they do change. And I do think we do change at certain levels, and I don't think we should ever stay the same. We should evolve, but with that comes criticism too, right? Oh, look at her, look at him, oh, blah, blah, blah. They don't understand it changes with each level of visibility. And with that also is access, right? I think all of us get that. We really know the line, which some that are finding their ways don't. What is private and what is public?
Yeah.
And we do have a responsibility to ourselves to make sure that we protect ourselves and those we love from those that only see us as a celebrity. And with that too, where I end up going sometimes is very intimate. It's not a large con. It's where I'm with individuals for 2 to 3 days. And because of that intimacy and smaller group, they can start to believe that they're my friend. They can start to feel like they should have access to me or be next to me every single moment, follow me into the bathroom if it's a woman. A man feels that he can ask me to hang out, want my phone number. But I'm there just to share sacred knowledge. And so, going back to how do we handle the public and then retreat, right, is difficult because they know what hotel you're staying in.
Right.
Sometimes I have to use an alias. It's
Mm.
it's very difficult too if the host is the one that's trying to get close to you, which is usually the case in some instances, because they booked your room, they've been in contact with you. So it's a fine line to walk, especially as a woman. Going to what I'm proud of is I think it had nothing to do with me, but I was given the Knight Commander designation by the Royal Order of Kamehameha the First. And at that point, and oh, thank you, but I thought it was a joke actually, because women cannot be members of the Royal Order. So when I got the phone call, I was like, are you sure? Because how can you knight me at the second highest level of knighthood, but I can't be a member? And so it ended up being legitimate. But at that moment for me, I'll keep it short. It's yes, I'm a Kumu, and that was bestowed upon me by my teacher. But at that point, it became about actually elevating from my teacher's family blood lineage of the warrior art to now the people of Hawaii. So that right there, I hold very dear to me every time I speak, every time I teach, because now it's not just about perpetuating and protecting and educating on my teacher's art. It's actually like for all of the people. So it's just that's one thing. There are so many awards, but that one, it's not an award. It's a designation that kind of redefined my identity and what I hold, what I carry, and how I share it. And knowing, like for all of us, knowing our why do we do something, and I think that really keeps us in our purpose. And we can't be susceptible to our own emotions, because we're probably like the Richter scale, because
Yeah.
we're creative, and we have great depth, and so we do have to have control over ourselves. But I want to tell Peter something. Peter, so
Yes.
Disney is around the corner from the Martial Arts History Museum. And they came to the Martial Arts History Museum to gain inspiration for Moana. And they gained it by photos that they saw of me. And I would
Wow.
like recognition. So you tell your
I
employer
love that.
that I would like, it's like
Wait,
a
so are
spitting
you
image of
are you
the
on?
way I hold my paddle, the way I move with my paddle, the way everything. So yeah,
So you were
tell your
Moana.
employer. Yeah,
So
Moana.
you're in Hawaii?
Well, no, I'm now in Southern California, but yeah,
Okay.
That's
So
awesome.
just a mere acknowledgement. I would love money, but
that's so
I'm just
funny,
kidding.
you
You
What
tell
do you
them I
mean?
have a demand.
They came in, they do drawings and stuff?
Yeah, they saw photos of me. The founder in the museum showed photos, and that's what they based Moana off of, as far as the
Wow.
movements and the paddle, because we're the only lineage that actually teaches with the paddle. So I just wanted to tell you that I feel much better voicing for myself. I'm just kidding, Peter.
No,
But
Yeah.
it would be nice to have
No, but I
recognition.
mean, I know those people, right? So that's kind of Ron and John. Like, I'm going to always see you now, That's
I
amazing.
should just show you the photos so
So
you're like, oh
cool.
my gosh. Yeah. But
You gotta show
love
'em.
Moana. Love all of your
Wow.
work. So
You gotta drop them in our group
and
chat,
Lilo.
man.
The photo?
I have
I'll
to
try and
say
find
that
it.
I didn't. You guys are all amazing. I didn't know much about a lot of you, before we started, and what a great little group we have going on here. You all I wish we could go have dinner or something,
Right? Yeah. Privately, without
Yeah.
anyone knowing.
Yeah.
We'll try to hang out at
Yeah.
if y'all all coming to Dragon Con. We'll try to hang out
Well,
there.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it to. I'm not sure about MomoCon, but I think I'm going to Dragon Con.
Okay.
Are you guys going to Dragon Con?
I'm
Yes.
doing
Oh, me
Dragon Con.
too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll hook up if we can make it to Dragon Con. I'm pretty
Reunion
sure I'm going
drinks.
to Dragon Con.
Yes.
That would be perfect. That would be perfect.
Yay.
I want to give a shout out to Supreme Turner. She's got a whole running joke
Yeah.
in here about you being a knight. She's like the way I would always open with, I'm a knight. Like, how the heck?
Right.
I'm a knight. You, ma'am, I asked you for your order.
I do have girl bling,
I'm a
actually.
knight.
I have
And she said she
like
would end
bling.
with, and that's Knight Moana to you. Yeah.
Night Moana.
Like,
And
Moana.
she's actually
Did I make a
Moana.
complete ass of myself putting those two together?
Knight Moana. I think
Whatever.
it sounds great. Yes, you're invited, Supreme Attorney, to have drinks with us.
You didn't have to
Sure.
invite yourself; it was already included.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been really good. Before we get to the fan questions in the live chat, I do have a question for Mr. Alan Z. I recently rediscovered one of your songs, "Good Enough," and it has, because I guess what I'm going through, since we're all being open and vulnerable, I'm privately going through some things, and your song has really started to speak to me. Can you tell me a little bit about what went into writing and preparing for that song?
Yeah, so Good Enough was about this girl that I was in love with in high school. And I wrote from the first, so like, for those that haven't heard the song, like I wrote from the perspective of teenage Alan, and then from the perspective of adult Alan in the second verse. So in the first verse, which is why I'm singing, and it's a lot more like ballady and more like vulnerable. In the second verse, I'm rapping and I'm telling the story of what happened. And so I think I just wanted like a closure from it, because like it was like very traumatic what happened. Because if you listen to the song, it's like this girl like asked me to the Sadie Hawkins dance, like, which is like what the girl asked like the guy to, and it's so like And then like we never like, you know, like, so the way the story ends is at the end of that year, she goes to prom with my friend. Who, no, he's no longer my friend. But like as a 16-year-old, that breaks you because
Sounds devastating.
I went to a school with like 200 people. You know what I mean? It was, and it's I think it was something that I never was able to like, I guess like express fully. So that song, I was like, I think there's someone out there who may also feel like they're, no matter what they do, like they feel like they're never like good enough for someone's expectations. But and at the end of the song, like where I write, it's like it's not even about this person. It's just when you pedestal someone and think that they're gonna save your life, like that's when you ruin yourself. So the song ends on a note where it's actually about you validating yourself that you are good enough. And so it's like it goes from you, or the I guess the main character, which was me as a teenager, idealizing this woman, or girl rather at that time, and then realizing like this was never about her. It's about the fact that you were so vulnerable at this time. You wanted someone to save you because you wanted someone to like see the good in you, right? But then like as you get more into who you are, like it's really about self-love and how you can pull yourself up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what Good Enough was about. And thank you for saying that, because I think a lot of people really like that song. And so like I'm glad that it resonated with you too.
Yeah, it did. And it's so weird how it did, because since we're talking about a dream deferred and we're talking the question I asked earlier about accomplishment, so I have accomplished something that I had no clue I was even working towards. And I say that because I started this whole channel because I need therapy. And for me, doing podcasts and editing videos and just asking people questions and doing nerdy things, cosplay photography, that's therapeutic for me. And I wanted to share that experience with the world, so I created the YouTube channel. But I never felt like I was actively working or building something. But then a couple of years ago and up until now, people are telling me, oh, look at what you've done with Blerdography, look what you've done with Blerdkast, your podcast, look at the communities you have built and made in X, Y, and Z. And a lot of people are telling me this, but I'm not believing what they're saying because I'm having conflict with myself. What's that literary term, man versus man? That's been me the last couple of years. So while working on this show and making the promos, I really got a good listen at Good Enough and interpreted it more internally. I understand like from your perspective as an artist, but for me, it was like, am I good enough for me, if that makes sense. Yeah. That's how I interpret that. Didn't mean to go on a random tangent like that.
Yeah. One of the things that I've heard everybody saying, like I would say the theme that I've heard over the evening is, I'm doing what I want to do. Like I'm being true to myself. I'm living, my own personal honesty, truth, authenticity, etc. And it's working. It is working for you, whether you're happier than you ever been or feel the freedom that you need or achieving the goals that you wanted, you're doing something that matters to you. Because, like I had the thought earlier when I was in like 9th, 10th grade, I thought I wanted to be a rapper. And I say thought. Didn't I want to be a rapper? I thought I wanted to be a rapper. I wrote like one song on like some notebook paper, and then I forgot about it for a while, and I found it like years later. That means I was not supposed to be a rapper because I didn't have the passion. And I listened to you talk about studying lyricism, and there's people out there that are in the entertainment industry that just want to be entertainers whatever way they can. And then there's lyricists. And so I have mad respect for that. I thought I wanted to be an actress. I still kind of do, but I didn't put any energy to it. But when I tell you, I spend my days and nights talking about like leadership workshops and corporate culture and diversity and inclusion and politics and all this kind of stuff, I can't put it down. And this is what I want to do. And I found a way to like live my life doing that. And so I'm looking at all of you doing things that you absolutely want to do. It may not be what you thought, to your point, like Afrococoapuffs about wanting to be a nurse, but then finding another way to give back to your community that actually resonates with you in a different way. And Alan, like your journey is just amazing to me. This is the second time we've had a chance to talk. I stand in awe of you. And then Night Moana. You are now Night Moana.
Everything else from now on. You are now Night Moana.
Oh, Afro, gee.
Y'all are doing amazing.
Joy.
I'm sorry. It was so
It's not
perfect.
my cosplay character name, yeah.
Mhm.
You're right.
Right, Moana.
Moana, Warrior Princess Knight. Yes.
Yes,
That's the sequel.
Yes.
100%.
Hey,
Should go
Peter,
get my
get along
paddle.
that.
Demigod Princess Knight Moana.
Yes.
I'm more like the demon, like fire lava chick. That's more me.
Like
Yeah.
Tafiti.
Oh, swing my paddle. I'm like,
Yeah, I think it's very important
Hilarious.
to recognize that from a cosmic universe quantum physics standpoint, if you're not doing something that is in your heart to do, you're gonna struggle.
Oh my God,
But when
yes.
you're doing what your heart is telling you to do, the struggle doesn't matter. You
it
know?
is real.
Right.
It's almost like it doesn't exist in a way.
Right.
When you're doing what you really love. And I was thinking about this last night, even in my 9 to 5, like I know I'm working for corporate America, but I do like what I do in corporate America. It doesn't feel like work when I'm there because my job is to make TV look like TV. Same thing when I'm at a cosplay photography shoot, like the one behind me. When I'm in that element, when I'm at a con, I'm surrounded by other like-minded geeks. I'm just enjoying that moment. It's not work. Yeah, I'm taking pictures. I got to go home and edit the pictures. I got to direct a photo shoot. That's not what's going through my mind. What's going through my mind is I'm having so much fun doing this. Or I can't even believe I'm doing this. There are some shoots I've done. And I was like, I can't, this has been a bucket list thing. Can't believe this. I got to cross this off my list. Doing press for Dragon Con. That was a bucket list thing. Oh my God, that was fun. That was fun. But I love doing these nerdy things, and everybody who I meet, like the 5 of you, love doing your nerdy things. And I think the whole world could be more like that if we all just try really hard. That's all I got to say. Tangents, but we are coming up on the end of the show. Why don't
we had one question that we didn't answer from the
Okay, go for it.
It was from like way back at like 804, a long time ago. But it was from yes, Mr. Al Kebulan. Would you guys support a Black indie animated movie from a Black cinematic distribution company like the ones he's got listed here? And I'm guessing by support, other than watching it, would y'all be interested in being involved in something like that?
Can I answer?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said earlier, I'm very adaptable, and I will. I am dramatic, but as far as what I can contribute is, I could contribute to making a soundtrack for the film, or a song for an album for the film, because I'll make a song about anything. Like I forgot to mention earlier. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of was it Gaming CEO? It's like a gaming con in was it Orlando?
Yeah, I know the dude. Super and them. I know him.
Yeah. Okay. So there, you know how like every year there's like a album for the. Okay, so this is my second year making a song for the album. This year I'm doing the Invincible game. So that was the song I was assigned to. So right now they're working on creating the album, and then the other year I did one for Mortal Kombat. And then actually like Orlando said that the one of the animators that worked on the Invincible game, he actually wants to hear my song, and possibly, I'm just grateful that he's listening to it. So yeah, like I enjoy making songs. So if you need to hit me up, email me, I'm very much interested in being part of the project. So yeah.
Michelle.
Moana.
I would love to contribute. Oh my God! I swear I do it to myself. Do you see this? Anyway,
You're
it's
never
like
living this
free
down.
game now. I would love to contribute any type of fight choreography, or kidnapping, violence, defense. I would love to choreograph that for you if you would have me.
Yeah, I did know that too. Like whether it's acting, voice acting, or soundtrack, I would love to contribute as well.
I'm always open to like looking at anything. I deal with a lot of people. So I'm almost more. I work. Most of my friends are animators, directors, so like every independent film is the way to go at this point in time. Whether it doesn't matter the medium, basically. And it's just like I think we're in a better time, in many ways, in a better position to make content now, even big content, long form content, than ever before in history. You're not beholden to the man anymore, really. And I think it's that if your product is good, it has more chance now to succeed than ever before.
Good stuff. So, and I think a couple other questions in there we answered like in real time, but we're coming up on the end of our time together today. So what I wanted to do is, consider that some people are, asking about things. Where can folks find you and follow you on social media? We'll start with Alan.
So you guys can find me on all social media at Alan Z Music. That's ALANZ Music, and also all my music is on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon at Alan Z. So ALAN, last initial Z. And also, I Love Boosters is going to be in theaters nationwide May 22nd. So you guys see.
Nice.
Yes, it is on my list.
I already watched it. I was at the South by Southwest premiere, so I know like what happens. So I'm really excited for everyone to watch it.
Awesome.
Did you love it, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think for me it was very surreal because I got to be part of like the whole, the experience with like, and being around my castmates who are extremely famous. You know what I mean? Like I'm hanging out with Keke Palmer and like,
Don Cheadle. Yeah.
So
you know what I mean?
excited.
Like Eric Andre also, he's in it too. Like he made a surprise cameo in the film.
Careful.
And when Boots shouted me out on stage, he gave me a standing ovation, like for my. So I was really happy. And I'm excited.
Are you gonna be at MomoCon, Alan?
Dude, I'm performing. What do you mean?
That's right. You did say that. You did say that. I'm sorry, it slipped my mind.
I guess that's the other thing too. So if you guys are gonna be at MomoCon, please come to our concert May 22nd. Same day as the movie. 22nd at 9 p.m. We're doing the marquee event from Adult Swim to Lo-Fi. That's me, Substantial, Stolen Drums, Mega Ran, Zetabani, Aztec, and other surprise guests.
Are you going to be like a round Momo con,
Yes.
like a table type thing?
Yeah, we're gonna have a booth. Yep, I'll come say hi if you're gonna be there at the booth too.
Okay, I got to see. I get it. Sounds odd, but because I'm always there. But if I'm there, I'll find you too if I'm there.
Dude, I would love for you to come. Yeah, you and your whoever you got with you, your wife, everybody. That'd be awesome.
Awesome, man.
I love this. Okay, Afrococoapuffs. Where can we find you online?
So I have the same name everywhere, Afrococoapuffs, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora. Just type in Afrococoapuffs. I'm the only one that has that name. And yeah, that's pretty much as far as like I already said what my plans were for for the Black Fade community coming up. I did just recently release a Soca / Dragon Ball Z type song. So I'm working on a project for that, for the community, for that too. And I'm still looking forward to hearing the full album for the CEO Gaming Con with everybody's songs on there. It's going to be so great. Sorry about that. So this will be the one time that I miss MomoCon, unfortunately, because I'm there every year, but this is just like the 1 year I'm not going to be there. Unfortunately, I really want to be there, but
Gotta do your thing.
yeah, I have other obligations that I have to take care of. But I will be at Dragon Con this year. If I see, and I'm going to follow everybody on this panel so far because you guys are amazing. It was an honor meeting each and every one of you and actually getting to speak to you guys. Yeah, like I said, after I get off this call, I'm just gonna follow everybody, and Alan, I'm gonna subscribe to your music as well. And yeah, that's basically it. Just Afrococoapuffs everywhere. Yeah.
All right. Peter, what about you?
So I don't do a lot of stuff. My website's the best way to see a lot of my stuff. It's at www.raymundoarts.com. But then because it has also the social media stuff on there, but my Instagram is Peter_Raymundo_author.
Okay.
And also one thing that I'm really taking away from this whole talk is I've never heard your song actually, Afrococoapuffs. So I know it's embarrassing, but I'm putting it on tonight, and so that's
I appreciate it.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, and then I'm sorry, just one last comment for you. Of everything that we've said, the one thing I take away from every person here is this whole thing that whenever we said what we were proud of in the very beginning, it was like that thing, like your song, the thing that was this obstacle became the way, right? That we're most proud of, the business, that you were no connections, right? No woman has ever been a knight. It's like the thing you're most proud of is the thing that was the most difficult thing.
Sure.
And so anyway, I take that away. You guys are all working.
That's great. Okay, Michelle, where can we find you online?
I'm not on everything, just Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And of course, my website is right here. So it's just Michelle Manu, Kumu thrown in here and there. Couldn't get the same handle everywhere, So if you just look up Michelle Manu, you'll find me.
Okay.
Thanks, Joy. Thanks, Mark.
My pleasure. This has been great. And anybody looking for me, if you look up at Joyride08, that's where I want you to find me on Instagram and Threads. I'm on TikTok, but very rarely. Usually I'm just out there to watch other people. So Instagram and Threads is where to find me, at Joyride08. And Mark, I turn it back over to you, son.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for coming on, doing a part 2. This was such an amazing discussion. Everybody just listening to your stories and your experience and your accomplishments and your dreams and goals has not only motivated me, but I'm sure it's motivated my audience. So thank you all so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate it. With that said, we might even have a part 3 to this show because a guest that was supposed to be on dropped out, but she might be on in July. So we're going to run this back for one more time in July, but I'm going to wait.
I'm just saying, if we do a part 3, there's been a request from this derailer Supreme Attorney that we have to have a theme song for Night Moana written and produced by Alan and Coco Pop.
Okay. If y'all up for it, yeah. And we got to have illustrations by Peter Raymundo.
Right. A whole little like 30-second comic.
I definitely have to draw Moana now. Now, when I see you, I'm going to say Moana. I mean, what's your name again?
I have to try to find the photos. Yeah, I'm going to find the photos. I almost want to go get my shark tooth paddle right now. No joke. I have.
I draw that paddle.
It's got 86 teeth on it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. But again, thank you all so much. For everybody else, join us next week. Next week, we are doing sci-fi people in nerdy spaces. I have some wonderful guests joining that panel, so please be on the lookout. And of course, the month of May is con month with so many conventions coming up. You just got to wait for those cons for me to go live during those cons. I will be going live during MomoCon. I'll be going live during RSP as well as DreamHack. Hopefully I got a proof of that one today. But you can find Blerdography everywhere on the internet, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok. I'm everywhere. You social media, and the Supreme Attorney is always around me too. So if you see me, you're gonna see her. She's my lawyer, everybody. But thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see y'all next week.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. You guys are wonderful.
Yeah. Be somebody tonight. Yeah. I love it how you move it, how you wind it up. We can jump into it, we can line it up. We can stay slow with you, me. We can stay slow with you, me. Yeah. Be somebody tonight. Doing that dance, digging that dance. I love. Be somebody tonight. Be somebody tonight. Pull up on me. We've got so much to see. Maybe I can show you now. Lay your top with the top down.